Well, this is a where we are and what's next section of the program, and this is a fascinating time for energy. One of the most exciting times in the history of at least the United States and probably the world. We are looking at a time when the U.S. is looking at achieving energy self-sufficiency, and we've got the highest oil output in 8 years. We're producing so much, in fact, that of natural gas, the government may start to export it, and we are looking at a transformation. I guess it's safe to say it's nothing short of a transformation of how we're using fossil fuels. Coal is down, but they might start selling to China. Natural gas is up thanks to fracking, and oil is up thanks to fracking, and what I call extreme oil. Deep water going below the oceans, oil sands, which are coming from Canada, shale, which is using fracking to get at it, and then places that are kind of scary, like the high Arctic. So let's take a look at this now. The future for, we're going to look at non-traditional fossil fuels. We're going to look at conservation, which is by far my favorite. As it says here, there's no cheaper, cleaner power than the power you don't have to produce. And there are some very important places that we need to look. And again, we'll do the Pareto principle. Where can we make the most impact? And then finally, the alternative fuels. The alternative fuels, we're going to look at nuclear. Batteries are a very important part of this. The technology for energy storage is so important to the renewable energies such as solar and wind becoming viable. They are very renewable energy provides about 20% of the total energy, and of that, it's 7 or 8%. So the vast majority is hydroelectric power. The same dams, like the Cooley Dam in across the Colorado, one of the great wonders of the 20th century. That's a mile long and 70 years old. Very old. Not exactly sure if it's 70, but it's very old. All right, so number one, coal. Non-traditional fossil fuels. Coal usage is way down primarily because natural gas has been substituted. A drop in 14% this year, and that year I'm referring to is 2012. We've got bargain basement prices of methane, natural gas, and tougher air pollution regulations. In fact, the last 2 weeks have seen American Electric Power, AEP, agree to stop using coal in 3 of their power plants in response to a suit. And while coal still provides about a third of the nation's power, just 4 years ago it was nearly half. And in this year, 2013, it has reached parity with natural gas. I like this. The mass screams at you to do gas, says Mr. Morris, whose company AP is the nation's largest consumer of coal and also is headquarters in Columbus. Now, coal usage in China is far more than any other country in the world, and they have primarily brown coal, and they would be very happy to import U.S. supplies. They want to send it out through Washington and Oregon, and many there are not so excited as they build new ports and bring this stuff by rail car into their areas. Coal is not going down without a fight. I love this ad here, especially her little belly ring, trying to make it look sexy. They call it clean coal, and every single politician just loves it. To say that they're all for it because the coal is, like we mentioned before, 85% of all the fossil fuels in the world and something like 90% in the U.S. But remember, it's a solid, so it's easier to get heavier. They're doing abundant by mass. So everybody pretends they really can do clean coal. We shall see. I think it's an oxymoron without you spending billions of dollars. One of these pie in the sky things that keeps coming up like a bad penny is IGCC. We talked about clean coal being an umbrella. of different things. And we said, okay, well, we can scrub it. That is the effluent going up before it goes up the chimney. We can steam clean it, make it into a syngas. We can switch it to lower impurities, especially sulfur. And then this is the last one called sequestering. And what they're doing with sequestering is they're capturing it and sending it as a under high pressures down deep underground for storage. And I just can't believe they keep bidding on this, and they've spent billions of dollars on this thing. And well, the last time we looked at it, which was 2009 for me, it was using 1/3 of the pilot plant's electricity and doubling the cost of electricity coming out. Swell. And what happens if something goes wrong? Well, just ask the residents of Cameroon, where these huge amounts of CO2 that were trapped were released because of, I think, probably an earthquake or something that opened up a fissure in the ground. What they'll do is they pump it down. Can you imagine the engineering feat of this? There's the Levesque Tower, if you know what that is, downtown Columbus. So it's way down there. And then they plan on keeping it under there. So here are some of the places where it has started, and you can see I don't know what they're going to do with this, but it has not become viable. All right, so how about the second one is playing around with natural gas. Well, methane, as I say, domestic fuel to free us from foreign oil and the filth of coal. It is kind of interesting. I don't remember who said that, but it used to be that coal and natural gas and oil were all in the same lobbying group, and now coal feels like the other two have turned against him. And natural gas has matched coal as a primary fuel. And this is what I'm talking about. Check it out. Yeah. Oh my goodness. See how far apart they were just 5 years ago? And now they are on parity. Natural gas-fired plants provided 32% versus 34%. And vehicles, you'll see this out west where they've got a lot of natural gas wells. If you see AEP cars, or I'm sorry, Columbia Gas cars, they are often natural gas. And the price is cheaper than a gallon of gas. Remember, with natural gas, you don't have any kind of refining. And the pollution coming out is just but it is CO2, but it doesn't have all the other crap that gasoline or coal has in it. Now we also can we can trap the methane that's coming from landfills. I know that New York City does this, and you can see that Franklin County is very interested in it and has made, the headline says, gets national interest. If you drove through New Jersey, you used to be able to see them burning it off the tops of the refineries for the gasoline, but now they want to keep it. Okay, so what has changed? Well, there's this new procedure called fracking, but actually fracking's nothing new. Fracking's been around 50, 70 years, and it's sending liquid, which mostly water that's got sand mixed in it, and they put it into the shale, which is got little micro pockets of oil and gas, and then the water breaks it, releasing the fossil fuels. What's new, however, is that they're sending them out horizontally. So they go down a mile and they send out their little fingers all the way around